Hi, Student Success Seminar. Welcome to Fall 2024. This is your instructor, Dr. Linda Remark. I will be with you this first 8-week session. So I always like to start each semester with just a welcome video that's going to kind of walk you through some of the components of the course so that the navigation hopefully is a little easier for you whenever you do start working inside our class. So I do want to preface this with saying, depending on how you're watching this, I did send this through a link in your email, but it's also embedded inside Blackboard. If you're watching this through the link, please make sure that you have already completed the Succeeding Online Orientation course. Without taking that orientation, you are not able to get into our course any further. So if you have not taken that online orientation, you're not even going to be able to see as far into the course as what my screen is showing right now. So once you have taken that and you are inside our course, I'm just going to walk you through some things just to make sure that you're okay with everything. So when you first log in, the Start Here section is going to be probably what you rely on for the first week or two, and then you're going to use it less and less. But it just gives a very general overview. It's going to have your name there and just kind of what this course is. This is a course video tour. This is put on by eSarc State, the Learning Management System team here. This video you're watching now is just a little bit more specific with a little bit more details. Here is my instructor welcome. So basically it just goes through and says, hey, I teach this class. I teach it 8 weeks. I teach it 16 weeks. I teach classes face-to-face on campus. I teach Web 2. I teach a lot of different modalities. It has some background information about where I got my degrees from, my 3 kids. So just a little bit about me so you know kind of who you're stuck listening to for the next 8 weeks. All right, underneath that, this is a copy of our master syllabus. So the master syllabus is rather generic, and by that I just mean any class you take here on campus is going to have a master syllabus, and they're all going to look just like this. So it's very general. This is the course description that ideally you would have seen already. This course meets all of the college's general learning outcomes. Here are the more specific course objectives, things that we're going to do inside the course, talk about learning styles, time management, critical thinking, note-taking, cultural diversity, all of these different things. Here's some more information on Stark State College policies, where you would go to find them in our policies and procedure manual, things like, grade appeal or academic honesty. And then down here it talks about disability services. So if you are a student who needs you had a 504, an IEP, or any other kind of academic need, they are the office to work with to get you those accommodations. They're wonderful and a great support here on campus, and as well as online. Computer use policies, and then some general student success resources. I also like to show my students at this point over here under the Stark State College homepage where it says info for current students. I like to go through here and just show you the different resources because we have a lot on our campus. So if you're able to kind of pull down and look to see hey, we have a lot of student clubs here. A lot of people don't know that because we're a 2-year school, but we have student clubs. We do have a food pantry here. We have a testing center. We have lots of tutoring. So this is a really great place online to go look to see, okay, where can I go for this kind of help? Part of this course position is also to introduce you to a lot of these resources. So not every single one of them, but there will be weeks where we talk about the digital library, where I might plug Trio, or we're going to talk about the writing center. So that way you are getting kind of pieces here and there, but that is a great place to look for them. All right, so back in our course, underneath the master syllabus, you're going to see the class syllabus, and this is what is specific to us in this particular online class. So I'm just going to open it up into its own separate page here. All right, so there are 2 sections inside this one section. So that's why you're going to see about 50 of you in here because it's 2 combined. This is an all online course, meaning we do not meet any day or week on campus. We don't meet on Zoom at any particular time. You work at your own pace within the confines of a week, and I'm going to talk to you about that a little bit more here. So again, my name is Dr. Remark. I am on campus more than this, but this is when you can anticipate me being in my office. I am in E244. There's my extension. There's my email. You're also going to be able to get in touch with me through Blackboard, and I'll show you that here shortly. We do have a textbook. It is online though, and it's free. So that's the good news with that. You're going to have 390 points throughout the course of these 8 weeks. There's a typical grading scale right here. Attendance is required. I know that sounds funny with an online course, but what that means is basically on the weeks where you have a discussion forum, you have to post on Wednesdays for complete attendance. If you post after Wednesday, you get 50%, so partial attendance points. On the weeks where there are no discussion forums, you still have to submit your homework by Sundays. And if there's like 3 assignments, let's say there's 3 assignments, you have to complete all 3 assignments to get 100% attendance. If you only complete or submit 2 of the 3, then you get partial attendance. So just kind of keep that in mind as we go through and I talk about these. This is a little bit more information about the course, withdrawal dates. This is an 8-week course, so you have until September 30th to withdraw. Let's say your work schedule changes, it's too much work, it's not what you anticipate, anything happens, you have until September 30th. If you're a College Credit Plus student, there's the link to the College Credit Plus site. All right, the next page or so is the weekly breakdown of what we're going to be doing. So you can see on week 1, I know like right out the gate, I'm sorry, this is just, we jump right in. We have 2 discussion boards and 2 assignments, even though it looks like we have 3, but I'll talk to you about that in a separate video. So you can see anytime we have a discussion board, I even say in there, hey, post by Wednesday, and then responded to classmates by Sunday, everything else due on Sunday. So you can see on those weeks, week 3, we do not have any assignment that includes a discussion board. You just have assignments, so those are due on Sunday. You're also going to see that there are workshops built into this class. You have to attend workshops, and workshops could be face-to-face, online, evening, afternoon, morning, so there's a lot of variations there. Some of them are embedded inside the weeks, and there's one additional one that's kind of on your own through the course of the semester. So there is the calendar. I like to tell my online students, print the calendar out if you can at the very least. If you want to print the whole syllabus out, that's fine. But at least the syllabus calendar part, because that way you can kind of like check things off as you go. All right, back here in the start here area, underneath that syllabus, the rest of this is kind of just like reference. So you're going to have a link to your textbook, which I'm going to show you where it's linked throughout your entire course. But I'm going to show you just what our textbook looks like. Click there. It's going to open up into its own tab. I really do think this textbook is pretty user-friendly. I like it for that reason, that it's very easy to follow. So whenever you go here, it just opens right up to chapter 1. Whenever we get back into the lessons area, I will show you every chapter is embedded in the week that we cover it. So when you go here, table of contents, you can kind of skip around to whatever chapter you want to go to. You can pull down, see more about what's going on. You can also scroll, or anytime click this way. You can also search anything in there to find certain topics. So like I said, it's very user-friendly. I also like to tell my students that we are going to cover a lot of information in this course, and not all of it is going to apply to you, and that's okay. Because we have some of you sitting in this classroom, this online classroom, that are still in high school, some of you who have been out of high school for maybe just a little bit, and then some of you who maybe have already had a career and you're coming back to change careers, or you have a little bit more experience. So there are things in certain areas that you're like, I already know this, and that's fine. I want you to focus on the areas that you need to improve upon. So let's say we talk about chapter 2 and you're like, oh, I really know how to set goals, I'm good with that, but I struggle with time management. Then that's where I want you to really focus your energy, is looking at that section. And I'll remind you of that throughout the semester, because by no means do I expect you to read every chapter word for word, because I do want you to make sure that you're getting the information that really just does apply to you. Back here in that Start Here section, underneath, oops, let me click back, underneath the textbook, oh my goodness, I'm all over the place. Underneath that textbook link then are just different, again, resources, citations, expectations, student resource website. So again, as we go throughout the course, you're probably going to use those things just a little less and less. All right, the majority of your time is going to be spent right here in the lessons area. So here is going to be just like a little flyer, computer bare basics. If you or someone you know really struggles with computer use, maybe like turning it on, navigating, file saving, Excel, Word, anything like that. There's a variation there. They have on-campus workshops through appointments or online. Here's another link to the textbook, so that's nice and handy. It's right there. Also, here are 2 discussion forums that are going to stay here all semester long. Neither of these count for attendance. So if you post in these on, week 1, you think you got your attendance done, you did not. These are not attendance worthy, if you will. but they are open all semester, and I'm going to show you how to post in those just so that you have an idea as we head into this first week. So Muddy Point is if you have a question that you need answered at all throughout the course of the semester, and this is for anyone to post and anyone to answer. So if you just had a general question, you could post it here. Any other classmate could jump in and answer that question. I might not necessarily be the one to answer it. So when you go to post, you're just going to click create thread. You'll have the prompt repopulate right here. You'll put in your subject, question or whatever it is. You'll put in your actual message, and then you'll hit submit. When you're done and then you want to maybe respond to someone else's, you just click on the name of their thread. You'll read it and then hit reply, and you'll be able to go in there and reply to their message. So again, keep in mind, anyone can see these, anyone can respond. If you have a very individual question, then you need to go ahead and send me a course message, and I'll show you how to do that in a few minutes. So if you have a question about a grade, a very specific question about how to do an assignment, go ahead and message me directly. The other one that'll be there all semester is called the Student Lounge, and this is just where you can go in and introduce yourself. It'll be there all 8 weeks. You can just talk about, hey, this is who I am, this is my major, restaurant recommendation, movie recommendation, does anyone know how to get in contact with my advisor, anything like that, all semester long. All right, back under the lessons area then, you're going to see the required syllabus quiz. So before you can start working in week 1, right now these are, you can tell this is bright and open. These are shaded because week 1 is not open yet. I'm recording this a little earlier than week 1 begins. You have to complete this and get a 100% to open week 1. So all of the answers are going to be found, you can guess it, in the syllabus. So it's basically one of these things where it's going to open up, you're going to click begin, and then it's going to ask you questions regarding the course. And so make sure that you're comfortable with these before you go through and answer, because you have to get 100% for week 1 to open. If you take this and you don't get 100, week 1 will not open. And if you email me, I will check and be like, hey, you didn't get 100. So make sure you take it. If you don't get 100 the first time, you can take it again. Here is the Student Success Workshop assignment. I'm going to have a whole separate video dedicated to this, but basically just have to realize that by the end of week 8, so week 8 is going to be mid-October, you have to complete a Student Success Workshop. So there's going to be a whole listing of them. It's going to cover things like maybe test anxiety or learning styles or career services related workshops. There's going to be a whole bunch of offerings. And they're going to be offered face-to-face, online, morning, evening, afternoon. You want to take one of those and you have to complete it by week 8. You'll go in, you'll get your attendance, you'll email me or submit your certificate that you actually completed, and that's how you get the points. Again, I will have a whole other workshop dedicated a whole other video dedicated just to this workshop so you know what to do. All right, the rest of this are all of your weekly videos. So I will come back here in just a little bit. You'll be able to see week 1 videos. So nothing's uploaded in there yet because it's not quite time for that. But that's where you're going to get your lecture, anything that you need for the week in terms of the content. And then week 1, all of the weeks are set up very similarly, where you're going to have a real quick snapshot, assignments, and then you're going to have a materials folder, which is what it sounds like, the things you need to be able to complete the week, the materials, and then where you're actually going to do the work. But I will be back with a very separate video going over all of that. All right, over here are some other things I want to draw your attention to. The course messages. Whenever you want to message me directly, you just simply hit create message, hit 2, find me in here, click me over, and hit your subject, your message, and hit submit. I will also message you through here whenever you are done with your weeks, just to let you know you're done. Here are your course announcements. You can see right now, this is old information, so eventually I will have an announcements loaded in here. So every week I try to give you announcements on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, a couple times a week. Just make sure you're on track. Anything I send in as an announcement, I will also send as a course message. So just keep in mind that even if you finish the week, you're still going to see these announcement and course messages because it's giving you that information. All right, underneath the announcements is the course calendar. This is where you are going to be able to see an electronic version of the calendar. So you can always keep up to date with the calendar and what's happening there. So you're making sure that you're with everything. And then finally, the My Grades area. This is just so you have access to your grades at any point in time, making sure that you have everything submitted. The rest of these are just additional resources that you can use as needed as well. All right, so I hope this helps you just get a little bit more accustomed to the navigation of the course. Whenever you are ready, you are going to go ahead and make sure that you get into the lessons area, take that syllabus quiz, get 100%, and then you're going to start jumping into week 1, and I will see you when the semester starts.